This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the SeeThruEquity MicroCap Investor Conference, New York City, 2014. I have with me Dr. Christopher Missling of Anavex Life Sciences Corp. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is AVXL. Dr. Missling, Christopher, welcome to SNNLive.
Shelley, it's a great pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you. Let's get an overview on Anavex for our audience first.
We are targeting the biggest market and the biggest growing market in pharmaceutical, which is Alzheimer's disease.
So, in the United States and around the world, we're starting to finally hear some improvements in the treatments. Tell us exactly what you do.
We have just started a phase 2 study, and it's going to be very important because we're going to treat patients for the first time. And we expect this data to be available or out in the next year.
What's the molecule based on?
The molecule is a small molecule which targets the stress factors which are reducing the stress in the brain. And this is how we are able, or we have seen so far in preclinical models, that we're able to reduce the symptoms and also find disease modification of the disease.
Now, this is the nervous system, I take it, brain related, am I correct?
That's right.
So when you developed this product, what made you go into Alzheimer's? I'm sure you could have gone into many different areas. What made you pick this?
Alzheimer is really tremendously difficult to treat. It is a very complicated disease, and it has such a tremendous correlation with age. There's no 5-year-old who gets Alzheimer, but there's a 5-year-old who gets leukemia. And the correlation is so strong that every 10 years, from 65 to 75, the chances of getting Alzheimer doubles, and from 75 to 85 doubles again, and from 85 to 95. There's an element of chronic stress, and we have found that with our drugs we're able to reduce the stress and hopefully also to treat the symptoms and the disease itself.
Where are you doing the clinicals?
We had multiple choices where to do the phase 2 clinical trial. The first one was done in Europe, and we have now started the trial in Australia. It is English-speaking country and has extremely good hospitals. And we're doing in a total of up to 7 hospitals in Melbourne, Australia.
How many patients?
We have a very intelligent trial design which requires less patients than usual because it uses an adaptive design, which means we're able to change the dose as we go, and that's why we need less patients in total. It's about at least 32 patients.
Now, what is the size of the market financially? I mean, it's such a growing market because obviously people are living longer these days.
That's right, and the improvement in medicine has led to a longer life, which is great. And however, there's only one area where the improvement in medicine has failed, which is the brain and Alzheimer. And the market has been just recently estimated by UBS in the range between 13 to 67 billion a year.
And it's growing because people are living longer all across the population in the world, not just in the developed countries. Am I correct?
That's exactly right, and especially that is exacerbated by the baby boomers, which are now all getting older and having a happy life. And the numbers I just mentioned, $13 to $67 billion, is probably the right number for that reason.
Looking forward, where do you see Anavex 2015-16?
We want to do this trial as good as we can, and it is designed to be as solid as it is possible today with today's technology. And we hope to have good data or results which confirm the very good preclinical data we have so far. If we have accomplished that, we would then engage into a phase 3 study, which would be then, depending on the outcome, maybe even the pivotal study to get approval for selling this drug.
I said earlier that I'm hearing more about the disease, but I'm not hearing that much about companies that are in the treatment. Where do you figure you stand in the world of treatment and possible, I won't say cures because I have learned not to, but in the treatment of Alzheimer's, there's not a lot of companies doing it. Am I correct?
That's exactly right. And it is really unfortunate that the medical improvement has really stopped at Alzheimer's indication. And in the last 10 years, all the trials in Alzheimer's unfortunately have failed. And it is very unfortunate for the patient and for all of us. So we have to become a little more humble. And what we have now realized, we want to do that as a step back and do that really rigorously. And that's why the trial is designed in such a way to prove the drug effect very rigorously.
So Christopher, we have an audience of investors and also people who are interested. Obviously, one day we'll all be patients. So what is your website to give out?
www.anavex.com.
That's ANAVEX. The name of the company is Anavex Life Sciences Corp. This is Dr. Christopher Missling. The publicly traded stock symbol is AVXL. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're at the SeeThruEquity MicroCap Investor Conference in New York City, 2014. Dr. Missling, a pleasure to see you. Thank you for coming on to SNNLive.
It was a pleasure, Shelley. Thank you.
You're welcome.